Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Wednesday. Highest quantity of items in a long time, and there was only like one combo order of 2 items, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Right here we have this AT-43. This is like a faction book for the Red Block faction right here. This is going to be like I think kind of like a fictional World War II or World War III like miniature game, or maybe just like a post-apocalyptic miniature game. So this is just gonna be like a rule book for one of the factions. Sold for $9 plus shipping. Everything's gonna be plus shipping. All right, moving along, we have this. How do I say this one? It's in Japanese. We have a manga. I wrote down the name of it. It's Rory Dragon manga right there. Get a bunch of the anime stuff. It's pretty popular. I would say it's still pretty popular now, even with like Gen Z and millennials. It's probably more popular than before. But yeah, this one, and I'm going for $14.99. People like to read that stuff all the time. All right, now we have some Battlefront miniature bases right here. These are going to be for Flames of War. I think also Team Yankee, just some World War II like miniature games. But yeah, this is like the company. These are little bases where you put like the infantry or like the little artillery. So yeah, this ended up going for $8.24. I have to put this closer so I can see it better. Sorry, the table's kind of messy right now because I was organizing some stuff I'm going to be listing, so it's like a different angle for you guys today. All right, moving along, we have some cool playing cards. It's been a little bit since I sold some unique playing cards. These are AAA right here, like a different brand. These are, it says 3A group. Super cool. Whenever I get the ones that kind of look different or fancier than your typical like Walgreens, Walmart ones that you can like find, I like to pick them up. This is not even new, but it's still sold for $10.79. I've sold like playing card decks for like 30, 40, 50, I think like 60 or 80 is the highest I've sold them for. So there are some cool ones. People do collect that kind of stuff. All right, moving along, we have a combo order, the little combo order I mentioned. These are GHQ turrets. I don't know what tanks these go to. This one's like a packet of 21. This one's a pack of 3. These end up going for $21. It's pretty funny because I get people almost like weekly telling me that these are worth nothing. And then I've sold like probably $20 to $50 of them every week. So yeah, it's always interesting what people tell you and then what you end up seeing in reality, if that makes sense. I know people get those like messages all the time on eBay. If you sell on eBay, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Next up, we have this Micro Machines. This is for the Star Wars Micro Machines. This is going to be an escape pod. I already have it sealed up. There's 8 of the minifigures in there as well. There's like Darth Vader. There's Chewbacca. I can't remember, R2-D2. There's gonna be some other like main characters in there. Got a bunch of these Star Wars Micro Machine stuff. When I was going through like a little collection I bought, I thought it'd be worth a little bit more. I know people love Star Wars, but I guess there's like a lot of Star Wars stuff out there. I know that there's some Micro Machine stuff that is super expensive. But yeah, this ended up just going for, this was like one of my more higher end of the ones I found, $15.93, which is still pretty good. I'm still appreciative of it. But I thought maybe the Star Wars IP with a vintage toy would go for more. All right, moving along, we have Profile Publications. There's these 2 little magazines. This is there's number 15 and then number 183. I just put them back to back. It looks like they talk about different like airplanes, military planes, and that type of stuff. This ended up going for $11.25. It's been a while since I've sold some magazines. We have like a bunch listed, but yeah, we've been selling more of the books. Moving along, we have Adeptus Astartes Psychic Powers for Warhammer 40K. These are going to be for 7th edition. It's interesting because I got a bunch of these with the bits and pieces where I've been selling hundreds of dollars of throughout the past year. And I also got like 20 or 40 different of these old 7th edition card packs. I think they're on like 8th or 9th edition. I'm not 100% sure. I've technically never played Warhammer 40K, but it's super, super popular. It's also expensive to buy new stuff, so people buy the used stuff on eBay. This ended up going for $8.99. Like I said, that's just like an extra little cherry on top of the other whole auction of bits and pieces I got. All right, moving along, another Warhammer 40K one. This one's special because, all right, so it's a hardcover codex, Imperial Knights. The codex is just kind of like the rule books for a certain faction. This one was misprinted, where on the inside, all the pages are actually upside down. So yeah, I charged a little bit higher for this because whenever there's something unique or signed, I thought maybe eventually someone's going to come around and appreciate the rareness of this. So yeah, this one ended up going for $58.31, which is pretty expensive for a codex book. There's all types of codex books in addition, so there are some that are expensive, but I think that one went more because it was misprinted with the pages upside down. So I'm always looking out for stuff like that. All right, next up is going to be War Machine Mercenaries token sets. So you've seen me sell these acrylic tokens or these like plastic ones for the Privateer Press game War Machine and Hordes. Mercenaries is like a faction where they can kind of mix into any of the factions. You can put them with the Khador, you can put them with the Krix. It just like each little figure, that's why they're mercenaries, will have its little rules of who you can pair them up with. This is what the tokens look like when they're in an official baggie. I do pretty well just selling them loose, even if it's not a full set. So yeah, this is a full set. It says there's 20, 30, 40 little tokens in here in the baggie. This ended up going for, I think I actually sell the used sets for more, which is hilarious. $13.49. That's pretty good for the tokens. People do use them. They denote like different spell effects. They denote how many like little action tokens you have for your characters, basically like when your turn's over. All right, moving along, we have something that is kind of different compared to the nerdy stuff. We got Pier 1 imports. This is 3 coasters, so it's supposed to have 4. I ended up getting 3. I can't remember where I got this, probably like a bulk estate sale buy or something. So not completely related to this. Like I didn't get this when what I'm about to say, but I used to work next to a Pier 1 Imports, and they would throw away anything that had like, you know, any chips or damage or anything like that. So I used to go dumpster diving to get some like cool stuff. Like for example, there was like a cool chair I got back in the day. This is like over 15 years ago. So yeah, I got like a cool chair, and it had like a little wooden splinter like chipped off on the leg, but it was still like pretty cool. Pier 1 Imports kind of does like, I don't know how to describe it. I want to say like hipster, but it's kind of just like unique looking stuff. If you want like an, I don't know, alligator shaped lamp, Pier 1 Imports probably has it. So that's why I knew when I saw the Pier 1 Imports little logo here, I'm like, oh, someone's going to appreciate these. Maybe they don't make them anymore and someone wants to complete their set. They're pretty cool coasters. These end up only going for $6.74. But yeah, like I said, it's only 3 instead of 4. They are like really cool glass ones. The colors like pop, and I think the person's going to really enjoy them when they see them in person, because it's really hard to photograph like how much the colors pop, if that makes sense. All right, moving along, we have Killzone 3 art book for the video game. Don't know anything about this video game. I'm assuming some kind of like sci-fi shooter game. There's just a couple of games I just don't know anything about. But yeah, art books are pretty cool. Sometimes they have these in those like little subscription boxes you purchase, and then you get stuff like that. Or they come with like collector's editions, or maybe like a pre-order at a video game store. But yeah, this ended up going for $7.49. I get that from the person where I get all like the strategy guide books. All right, moving along. What is this? Oh, okay, that was good. It's cool. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes right here. This right here is going to be 5 Marks Infantry little figures. Got a bunch of these like Marks, MPC, Timmy toys a bit ago. I listed them all in various different lots. So yeah, these ones are like smaller ones. They kind of look like pre-painted. They look like pretty good quality. These are probably from like what, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 60s. So these end up selling for $20 for these 5 little figures. You probably can't see them. All right, so moving along, we have 3 fantasy books right here. Paperback books right here. It's Dark Harvest, and then this one is Dragonfall, and then Where Dragons Lie. I just kind of picked like, when I make lots, you know, either by author or by like type of book, or like maybe by like the art style on the front, and I try to make nice little lots. Got a note from this person that said greetings from Germany. So if they're a viewer, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. If not, still cool that someone bought this from Germany. It's going to go to someone that's probably going to read them. I got $9 for this. I get books pretty cheap. So yeah, it's pretty cool either way, if it's a viewer or not. All right, moving along. I appreciate all the support, even from the random people that buy on eBay. That's how we actually like feed ourselves. No joke. All right, next up is going to be these. These are little old school Dollar Tree knickknacks. They're Halloween themed. It's hard to see. They're supposed to be solar powered. So there's a witch with a pumpkin and a cauldron, and then there's a spider. And then when like the light hits the solar power, the spider's supposed to move around. I mean, it's moving around right now because I'm holding it. Then over here, there's like a skull with a bat, and then also same thing with the moon in the background. But this is a really cool mom pa thrift store we went to in another state. It was such a unique layout. I think we bought a bunch of stuff. The sticker price was like $100. We ended up haggling down to $75, but we got a lot of cool stuff. It is a cool thrift store that we would like to go back to someday. But yeah, it was just like a lot of fun. We got a bunch of like unique VHSs, just like old like Halloween decorations. It just felt like we were going into like a different time zone, like just like a different era. It was such a cool thrift store. All right, these only sold for $6.88, but I think we paid like a quarter or 50 cents for each of them. We got like 40 of these at the time. I made different lots, like lots of 4, lots of 6, lots of 8s. I've sold them for all sorts of prices. This is kind of just like we only have a couple of lots left. But yeah, $6.88 for that. Last thing for the day, Ninja Gaiden 3 art book as well. Don't know anything about this video game too. Normally I'm not like too stumped. Obviously it's going to have to do with ninjas. It's part 3. People like the samurai ninja stuff. There's Sekiro and there's other games as well. People do enjoy them. This ended up going for $12.50. So it's not a strategy guide book. It's just another art book, but people like to go through them. All right, yeah, this is a lot of items. I think it's like 17. I would say on average we sell like 10 items. On like a really bad day, it's like 6. On like a meh day, it's like 8. And then like on a super good day, it's 14. This is 17, so it's really cool to kind of see this kind of break the ceiling that we had. Like the 14 was usually just like the max. We get the 14 and then eBay just like feels like shuts off. Just like it'll be like nope until we get stuff shipped out. So it's super cool to finally like break that. The number of quantity items doesn't really matter. It matters for the money coming in, but this is still a really good day. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.